Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Eureka Springs channel. I'm Melody Purdy, your host, for coming to you live this afternoon from the beautiful Northwest Arkansas, quirky corner of Northwest Arkansas, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. We are here to talk today with one of our infamous residents, John Michael Scurio, and he's going to be with us in just a second. But first, a word from our sponsor. Wow. So there you go, guys. That's Eureka Springs in a little bit of a nutshell. And if you haven't been here to Eureka Springs, you truly are missing out. And none other than John Michael, can tell you more about his experience about living in Eureka Springs. And he's got something I want to make sure that you guys know about. So let's get John Michael onto the stage. Hey, John Michael. Hi, how are you, John Michael?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. A lot of people, you've been in Eureka Springs. You've been here how long?
This June is my eighth year anniversary already.
8th year? Wow. Where did the time go? That's fast and furious. Oh my, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
So for folks that are not aware, you are a blogger and you live here in Eureka Springs. And how in the world did you decide to begin to be a blogger about Eureka Springs?
Well, when we got here, me and my partner, we ventured into town. Of course, we were all over the place, as everyone is. We discovered Beaver Lake, which is just on the outskirts, and we discovered all the different things going on in town and the history and the architecture. I mean, you name it. And so every corner I started saying the phrase, "Oh my God, I love Eureka." And then he would say, "Oh my gosh, look at that. I love Eureka." And then I would turn up the corner and be like, "Oh, look at this. Oh my God, I love Eureka." And it would be like this constant phrase we would say to each other. And then I had this like wild hair where I was like, I've always been interested in writing. Like, I've never really done it. I've never really, I journaled for years and I was a travel journaler, but I thought, what if I just wrote a blog? What if I just did like a hobby blog? Yeah. And my partner, Jeff, was like, go for it. Just why not? And he goes, why don't you call it I Love Eureka? And I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. So I found the website online at iloveeureka.com, and the rest is history.
And here we are.
Yeah.
And that started back in what year then?
We got here in June of 18, and I started the blog in September of 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you just start thinking about all the things you love and start just putting content out there?
Well, it's a good question, because I thought, well, how do I kind of categorize this? Like, how do I make this worthy of reading? Like, why do people even want to know? And so I came up with 5 core values that I still today, even all these years later, I still work through these 5 core values. So I write only articles that fit into these core values. So one of them is cultivating community, making memories, curating culture, spreading joy and love. And then the last one is living well, because I tend to be a bit of a fitness freak. So I sometimes will write about like healthy living or hiking or, wellness food choices and where to eat in town where there's wellness food choices, things like that. So I kind of take these 5 core values and I write my blogs around those.
Well, you do it so well. And I love the fact that you're not only touching on some of your own private philosophies and personal experiences, but you tie it so well into the whole immersive experience about living and breathing and enjoying Eureka Springs.
Well, thank you.
iloveeureka.com. It is a fantastic blog. And could you talk to us a little bit about the experience of having this blog and where it's gone and how it's doing. Fill us in on what some of the surprising parts about this
Yeah,
blog.
it's been actually an interesting journey because people will say that's how they found it. Like when I meet them in town and they're like, "Oh, I'm from Iowa." I'm like, "Oh, how'd you find Eureka?" They're like, "Well, we went online and we were searching about Eureka. And we came across this blog called I Love Eureka." And I'm like, "That's my
That's
blog.
me. That's me.
I did that." Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really that's a cool part of it. That's been a very interesting sort of I don't know dotted epiphany every time I'm out in the community and someone's like, "I found it through that website." That's kind of cool. And then just meeting people in town. The one cool thing that happened with Becky Gillette. Becky works for the newspaper. She's one of our local reporters, and she was writing about all this stuff, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so it was sometimes pretty heavy, you know. And she found me, and she was like, "Hey, this is what the blog did." She was like, "Hey, I want to interview you."
Oh, yeah.
Because you're writing about all the good news. You're writing about good stuff and joy and energy and
Mm,
love, and you're talking about Eureka in such a different light. I'm talking about like wind turbines, and you're talking about like love and joy, and go like joy spotting and joy hunting and
sure.
hiking. And
Sure.
so she interviewed me. That I thought that was such a cool outcome from having a blog, was like getting interviewed by the local newspaper because I'm just telling the good news, so to speak. That was kind of cool.
Yes.
That was really a cool moment. And then
Yeah.
just having people kind of subscribe. Like at the end of every weekend, I wake up in the morning on Monday and it's like 4 new subscribers, 3 new subscribers, 5 new,
Yes.
and I'm like, this is a cool thing. Like people are finding it,
That's
and
right.
so those are probably the biggest highlights I have really liked. And then when I'm in town and I'm like visiting with people or seeing a live music venue kind of come alive, and it just gives me inspiration. And I mean, I was just at the New Delhi last weekend, and I thought to myself, how can I live here 8 years and not blog about the New Delhi? So I'm now working on a blog about the New Delhi,
Right.
and so like you get
Well,
constant
there is
inspiration.
so much,
Yeah,
Michael. I mean, but let's honest. I mean, you could live here forever, and
right.
as things evolve and change, and people do come and go, and new businesses are still coming to town, and
True, true.
you would never run out of material to write about in that
Right.
respect. And I do love the fact that you are like, that's what we're trying to do also here at the channel is, focus on the good people, the good news, and good places.
Yeah.
And, you do a fantastic job of really bringing all those things into another level of detail and your experience with it. And I think a lot of people are truly enjoying it. I know
Thank
I
you.
certainly do. We have enough bad news to turn on the old TV, the little box that we all have in our
Me
living
too.
rooms.
Me too.
It's nice to have something to sit down and read or a little snippet of a video to be able to kind of escape into something. But I wouldn't say that, that I would say that we're not alike. We're not unalike
That's true.
in that for anybody here in Eureka Springs, anybody you meet in Eureka Springs always seems to try to, well, that's a little negative, but we all come back around
You do.
to, okay, the perspective is whatever it is going on in the world, we live in Eureka Springs, and how lucky we are. It is a really nice little spot of the world, isn't it?
It
A little
is.
piece of paradise.
I have to tell you.
So,
So when things shifted in our country with legislation, and I won't get into politics today, but when it shifted, somebody sent me an image, and it was just a little girl. It's up. There's a sculpture up on the hill here of a little girl blowing a bubble. You may have seen it,
mm-hmm.
facing toward the crescent.
Yep.
And all he did was send me the image, and he goes, "This is your inspiration. Write me a blog." Right. And I was like, oh, this is a cool challenge. I'll do this. And so
Yep.
I took that image and I wrote this blog called Bubble of Love, which is Eureka Springs to me. And that blog post has gotten quite a bit of readership, but it is that, like, no
It
matter what's
is.
going on in the universe, this little
Mm-hmm.
bubble of love continues to evolve and everyone continues to share and co-create. There's so much here going on. And the seasonality of it is really quite impressive. Growing up in New England,
Totally.
I was so impressed by the seasonality, like 4 seasons
Yes.
happening here. The fall here is remarkable and all the things that happen here. I mean, there's just so, like you said, there's just so much to do.
Yeah.
And like, there's never going to be enough to write about because there'll always be something new evolving and you'll be you by that thing, you
Yes.
know? So one of the
Yeah.
things I'm doing now, Melody, is I just started a new blog series called Flocking Brilliant.
Okay.
And it's about the black sheep in town and all the people who like refer to themselves as black sheep. And so like, why are they
Hmm.
here? They're sort of that misfit. So I'm highlighting these flocking brilliant people through this
Okay.
little series. And I've got maybe 3 blog posts about it. And so I'm still looking for a few features, and I've got you on my mind as well.
Oh
But
no.
yeah, I do. But I do think that that series is getting probably more readership than I anticipated it would,
Yeah.
because I'm now highlighting one person and
Yeah.
what their thing is,
Yeah.
and it's getting a lot of
Yeah.
interest.
Isn't that something about, the people of Eureka Springs too? The unexpected part
Mhm.
of the population here, people that escape to here,
Yeah,
people that run here. I mean,
yeah,
it's just, it answers the call in so many ways. I think we truly, truly do live up to our name, Eureka. I've
we do.
found it. We
Yep,
of
we do.
anything across the country, I think Eureka does that. And from people from all walks of life, all experiences, and seemingly we all get along and
Mhm.
enjoy another. I also, you're kind of like me. I know you are because I've been out with you socially at many times. You're kind of like me. Being in Eureka, in downtown Eureka, on any given night is kind of like a spectator sport.
It is.
It's
Sure.
and so, but I love to meet all the tourists that come to town, and everybody has a story of their own journey of why they came to Eureka Springs or what brought them there that weekend, or the all encompassing uh, vision of for themselves telling us we want to live in Eureka.
Yeah,
And so there's not a night in Eureka that we don't hear those conversations. And I know
constantly.
you're privy to those as well. We've even
Oh,
sat at the same table and listened to these stories before.
yeah, yeah.
So, who inspired you to come? Do you remember what when you first heard about Eureka Springs before you moved here? Who said
Actually,
it?
it was Jeff. It was my partner. He
He's
always
the one.
chooses,
Okay,
yeah, he always chooses a place to go in July.
got
That's
it.
his birthday month. And
Yeah,
he said, we're going to go north. And I said, okay, well, where are we going north? We lived in Dallas at the time.
yeah.
And it's a big difference than Dallas, I
No
have to admit,
kidding.
quite a bit.
Quite a
And
bit.
so he said, we're going to go to a place called Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And I lit up because I was like, I've never been to Arkansas. I want to see it. I've heard it's a beautiful, beautiful state. And so we came, and after only 2 visits in 2017, the third visit in April of 18, we had a real estate agent. That's
Yeah.
how fast it happened.
I always tell it's a three rule. The rule
Yeah,
of three.
yeah,
You visit, you bring somebody, you get a real estate agent.
yeah, yeah.
That's the way it works.
That's how it happened.
That's the way it works. I love it. I love it.
It was great.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
been
John
great.
Michael, I love what you're doing. I'm going to try to see if I can get on the screen. There is a few folks you can see that. It's a little small, but we're trying to go vertical for all the TikTokers and all that are maybe watching. iloveeureka.com is the website. And if how often are you blogging, John Michael?
I blog I blog all during the week, but
Mm-hmm.
the feature that they have on my host site is that I can publish whenever I want. So I
Okay.
choose to publish one blog every Saturday morning and one blog every Sunday morning because I have a full-time
Yes.
job. So
Yes.
people, and it's just resident. I'm a resident hobby blogger. So
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays are when the new blogs come out.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you are part of the inspiration that I think keeps people coming back to Eureka Springs because you are one of the people that we can say is a good people. You're
Thank
good
you.
people.
Thank
And
you.
we celebrate you, John Michael, and all your success with your iloveeureka.com blog. Please don't stop. You keep us inspired and keep us smiling and all your good content. So we look forward to reading more throughout the year with you. So thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you, Melody. I appreciate you for that. That's
All
sweet.
right. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time, John Michael, and keep it going. Bye bye. And I would also like to give a shout out to all the people that help make our channel possible. You know, it's a village. We all are in this together, and we try to celebrate each other. And also, I'd like to be able to thank our sponsors for today. We have Eureka Live, which is the largest downtown dance floor in Eureka Springs. Great time. Drag shows Fridays and Saturdays nights. Sid Super Sitter is a brand new business in Eureka Springs, a dog sitter and home sitter. If you're coming to town, you need somebody to babysit your dog or take them out to wee while they're here so they won't do it on the Airbnb, call on Sid Super Sitters. She'll be able to help you out. Also, EurekaHouse.com, fantastic, unique lodging. You got to check them out. Really unique lodging. You'll want to check them. Also, I love EurekaSprings.com, another one of the websites that promotes Eureka Springs. You can find out all you can there about Eureka on their channel. And also the Rondaroo Lodge, really great place to go listen to little live music, meet some of the locals, and some fantastic place to stay there at their lodge. And also brand new, the Woods Cabins under new ownership. The Woods Cabins here in town. Yes, you can be in a cabin in downtown Eureka Springs. And be sure and check the guys out at thewoodscabin.com. And as always, I appreciate all of you watching us live. You know, one of the things that you can do to help us is just share our segments, like our channel, follow us. We are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. What else? Oh, Facebook. There we go. All right. Thanks to you guys for watching. We will see you next time here on the Eureka Springs channel. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.